Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Please ensure to like, share, and subscribe. And also click the bell notification in the top right-hand corner to be made aware anytime I upload tutorials or videos to YouTube. All right, let's craft together. Hi guys, today we're going to be completing this rhinestone design that you see before you. So I purchased this file off of Etsy, and you can see that it is created using the 10 SS rhinestone. And you get a lot of good information from Etsy to determine what all you will need for this design. So first of all, they tell you what size it is. It's 10.841 width by 9.917 in height. So you want to make sure that your magic flock or sticky flock or whatever you're using for your rhinestone template is this size. Now mine isn't, so I took two pieces and I'm going to put them together and see what happens. So you'll get a chance to see if this is going to work or not. But also you can come over to your description. You can see this is a digital download and it has two files. I'm assuming one is going to be for the ombre effect, and then the other will be for the non-ombre effect. So I'm going to be doing the ombre effect with the, I guess that's about 3 or 4 colors. And then also under the description, you can click on this link here, learn more about this item, and it's going to tell you everything you need to know. So you're going to need about 2,000 10SS hot fix rhinestones for this design. They even give you a link to a demo on YouTube. They tell you that you cannot sell this product using this image, which is you may sell the product using the image. I had to read that again, like what? You may sell this product using the image, you may not sell the digital image. So you can't sell this, but if you put it on a t-shirt or whatever, then of course you can sell the t-shirt. And also, again, it's going to list the file size for you. So you always want to look for the file size, what size rhinestones it is, because that's going to come in handy, okay? And how many, like I said, how many rhinestones. Normally, I only use the SS10s. I guess that's because I started out with the SS10s, but normally I'll just come in and say SS10 rhinestone template is normally what I would search for, and normally it will bring up most of the designs that are created using the SS10s. Okay, so I am going to go to my account to my purchases because I've already purchased this file, and I don't believe I paid $6.99 for it, and I didn't. It was a little bit less than $6.99. It was $5 and something, but six something with tax. All right, so I think I've already downloaded this file, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to bring up, because I'm going to be doing this in Cricut Design Space. So I'm going to bring up my Cricut Design Space. Give me one moment. All right, guys, here we are inside Cricut Design Space. I'm going to go to upload. And let me just see if I've already, I think I downloaded this file yesterday, but just take a look here. Okay, so it looks like it is right here. So this one says ombre, but this one also says ombre. Let's see what we get when we open it. Okay, so it should come up with your cut only file. We're going to upload. And we're going to go ahead and select it and click add to canvas in the bottom right corner. And so here's the file. And when it comes in over on the far right, you're going to see that it's already broken up into the layers based on the colors. So it looks like we have, hold on one second. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this looks like the main one that's going around the entire design. So it looks like it's actually 5 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's really up to you if you want to do that outer layer, or you can make that outer layer the same color, which looks like this and that is the same, but I guess it isn't. Okay, so we're going to click on, and you don't want to change anything here, guys, because this design should come in the size that it needs to. So you should not change anything. Your, hold on one second. Okay, it looks like it actually came in smaller than what the actual file size says. So I'm wondering, will I need to, I'm going to go back over to Etsy for a second and see if they mentioned anything about changing the file size. Okay, it doesn't say anything about resizing, but I'm going to resize it to 10.841 by 9.91. So I'm going to bring this over. And bring Cricut back up and just see what it looks like. So the width they have at 10.841, and then the height at 9.917. Okay, and then I'm going to lock that back. And the reason it's so crucial to have the file size to be based on what the creator said is because that's what size your image would need to be for SS10 rhinestones, hot fix rhinestones. So that's the only reason I'm changing it here in Cricut Design Space. In the past, when I've worked with these files, they came in at the actual size, but this one did not. So that is the only reason that I changed it, okay? So we're going to go to make it. And the design is going to be broken up by colors. Okay, so this is going to be the outer layer. That's your historically. So those are one color. I thought they looked like it was one color. So it's only 4 layers. And then you have the dripping part in the blue. And then you have the bottom part of dope. And then you have the top part of dope. Okay. Now it doesn't matter what colors it show here because it only matters what color you put, what color rhinestones you're actually using. So I'm going to be using, and actually I'm going to have to grab one more since there's 4 layers. I thought it was just 3. So I'm going to grab one more color. I know that I want the dope. I might end up making, I don't know if I have a purple, but I'm going to see, but I'm going to make it work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my magic flock and I've cut off 2 inches from another sheet of magic flock because my magic flock is only 12 by 8. And, you know, we're going to need at least 9.91 for the height. Okay. So therefore I have cut off 2 extra inches from another piece of magic flock and I'm going to put them together on the cutting machine or in the cutting machine. And we're going to see how it works. Okay. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut the dope outline here, which looks kind of wonky. Does it look wonky to you guys? So we got the historically that's going to go up here, and then the dope. It just looked like it was more space here, but I guess not. Okay, so we're going to cut this one first, and you're not going to mirror this, guys, because you're just going to put this into your, this is not vinyl. You're going to put your magic flock, sticky flock, whatever you're using, you're just going to place that onto the mat and then put it into the cutting machine, and the cutting machine is going to then cut out all these little holes. So you do not mirror any portion of this design, okay? All right, so that being said, let's go ahead and click on continue. Now I'm going to show you the settings that I'm going to choose for my cut on this first one, and then the others you'll know what to select because it'll be the same settings. So I created this magic flock test, and that's what I'm going to use to do my design. But I want to show you what my settings are for that magic flock. Okay, so this is what I'm using. And I wanted to, oh, here it is. I'm going to go to material setup so I can show you what I have it on. So I'm going to scroll down to magic flock. And it is here. So I have it set at 350. Now they recommend 265. 265 didn't cut mine, so I had to bump it up. And then I have it to cut twice. Okay. So you can use the magic flock setting if you like. It didn't work for me, so I had to create my own. And again, I'm using magic flock at 350. It's going to cut twice on the fine point blade. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, and I'll be using that setting on each one of mine. So I don't have to select more pressure or anything here because it's going to automatically cut twice. There won't be anything in clamp A, and then I'm going to have the fine point blade in clamp B. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so this is my magic flock that I'm using, and this is where I said that I'm going to take and I'm going to match up that last 2 inches on the bottom. I'm going to match that up. So before you put this on your mat to cut it, you want to make sure that you remove the white piece, the white backing from it, and then this side is going to be sticky. And I will link in the description where I purchased on Amazon, where I got this material from. For those of you that may want to order it, it will be linked in the description. And you just want to make sure that it's laying on there nice. And then we're going to add our next little piece here. And this is the part where I said I don't have enough. My magic flock is not the right size. So I'm just going to add that little extra 2 inches there so that I'll have the right sizing. Now, I think when I was looking at this, the design actually went a little bit over 10 because of the hypothetically. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to remove hypothetically, and I'm going to cut that out on a separate piece of magic flock. But I want to get this lined up nice so that I don't have too much of an issue with the divide in between them. All right, so you really can't tell, but of course, you know, the cutting machine will start acting wonky. So we just want to make sure we got it on there good. So let me go back. I'm going to move hypothetically, and that way I don't have to add another sheet. Or it may be good for me to go ahead and just do both. You know what? I'm going to do both. Just so you can see, I'm going to go ahead and cut off another piece and bring it on down to the 12-inch mark. So, I'm going to get my little handy Cricut cutter here. And I'm going to cut off about 2 more inches. And I know that's more than, but it's all good. Okay, so we're going to take this and put it on the bottom. And again, the reason I'm having to do this, guys, is because my magic flock is not large enough. So I'm going to make it large enough. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to place this into our cutting machine as it is ready to take the cut for us. And let's see, what is it saying? Okay, look like my Bluetooth went off and then acted a fool. So hold on a second here. All right, let's go back. All right, resetting my Cricut Maker here on my Bluetooth. Give me 1 second. All right. All right, so I'm gonna let this cut, and then when it get finished cutting, then I'll bring you back and I'll show you how to layer the first. I'm gonna layer the first set of rhinestones, and then I'll do the other 3 layers, and then we'll do the heat press together, okay? Because this is gonna take a minute for it to go through, but I do want you guys to see the outcome of me adding sheets to it to get the size that I need, okay? So I'll bring you back once this has finished cutting. And I'm just taking a look, and it's doing a very good job, so I'll bring you back when it's done. Alright guys, so our design just finished cutting out, and it looks like everything took like it should. You can see, hopefully, I'm going to go ahead and release it, that it did cut without any issues. And so I always take a piece of cardstock, and I'm going to use this piece of cardstock to actually lay my design down on. So when I take this up off of the mat, you're going to see all the little dots that are left behind. That's the part that most people hate about, you know, doing the rhinestones, because you always end up with, you know, some of your, all these dots that you have to clean off your mat afterwards. So I just take my, one of my Cricut weeding tools, my spatula, and I just kind of go over it, over the design, and kind of scrape some of the excess little things, little dots off. So I'm going to go through and make sure that I get all of these little dots off. And then I'm going to line it up. Put that right there. I'm going to line it up on this 12 by 12 cardstock so that I can see my whole design. And this will be what I lay my rhinestones down on. So that is why you do not have to worry about mirroring this, guys, because it's already going to be in the right direction when you finish. So let me pull that down so you can see. So all I'm doing is just taking my little spatula and I'm just going and scraping it across the design. And for the most part, it'll knock out some of those little dots that should not be there. So I'm going to work on that, and then I'll bring you back once I have them all out. I'll bring you back, and then we'll start placing the rhinestones in here so you can see what that looks like. Now again, I'm only going to walk through laying the rhinestones on this first part because the process is going to be the same for the remaining 3 layers. You're going to, you know, measure out your sticky flock or magic flock according to, you know, the size of the layer, because you don't, you know, if it only requires you to have, let's say, a 4x5, then you only need a 4x5 piece of magic flock. There's no need in laying the whole 12x8 down on your mat. So you would just cut the magic flock like you saw me cut this magic flock earlier. You would just cut it to the size that you need it. Okay, so I'm going to finish this. And like I said, this is the headache right here, cleaning your mat after you do it. Yes, rhinestones, rhinestone designs turn out so pretty, but it's the after cleanup mess that you have to do. And sometimes I can go and wash my clothes several times and still find these little blue dots on a shirt or a pair of pants that I wore when I did this particular design. So you can see how they're all on my hands. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then I'll come back when I'm done just to show you what it's going to look like, and then we'll walk through layering our rhinestones on our first border layer. And I call this the border layer because this is the part that's going to go around the entire design. Okay, but we're going to do the entire heat press portion together. I just don't want to take up all of your time with just doing this part. Okay, all right, be back. All right, guys, we got the historically dope part done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut this, because remember, historically goes at the top. So I'm just going to give that a nice little cut there and separate it, keep it from being at the bottom of dope. So that will go on the top, right up there. Okay, so now I'm going to go through, and it may look like, guys, that I have this going in the reverse direction, but that's because of my camera, but it is going in the right direction. So now we have the historically dope. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my other 3 layers and go ahead and cut them out using the same process that I used, that you saw me use for the historically dope. I'm just going to, they're just going to be on different colors. Okay. So those are going to be different colors. These 2 right here will be the same color rhinestone, SS10 rhinestone. And then I'm going to use 3 different colors for the inside of dope. Okay. And then the little drip part at the bottom. So again, you always want to take and put your sticky or magic flock on like cardstock or something like that, so that when you get ready to do your rhinestones, that they'll just slide right in there real nice and easy. And I'll walk through that process with you, but I'm going to go ahead and get my other 3 layers cut out and on the cardstock, and then I'll come and I'll do one of them with you so you can see how you actually lay your rhinestones. Okay, and then we'll make it over to the heat press. Now again, this is going to be going on a blue shirt. The color rhinestones that I decided on, I'm going to use Fairy Opal, which I got from the Rhinestone Warehouse. These are all diamond cut, which I'm told that they're prettier on the t-shirts. So you can see here it says diamond cut. So this is Fairy Opal. I'm going to use that at the top. And then I have the Aquamarine. Now these are just the normal Hot Fix rhinestones. I'm going to use this one at the top of Dope. And then I have Hyacinth, which I'm going to use in the middle. And then I'm going to go, oh wait a minute, I think I did that wrong. I'm going to put this one at the top, the Fairy Opal at the top, the Aquamarine in the middle, and then I'm going to finish up with the Hyacinth on the bottom. So that's the way they're going to look. And then I'm going to have that crystal going around. That's going to be our border, which is right here. Okay. All right. So I'll be back. All right, guys. So I have all of my pieces now cut out. So we have the historically. This is the top part of the Dope. That's the lower half down there. And then that's the drip part. So I will tell you that if you decide to do this project, it is very time consuming just based on all the layers that have to be cut out. But it's going to look gorgeous. So I'm going to start out with my crystal diamond cut SS10s. And basically what you're going to do is just pour them all over your template. And then we'll use our little rhinestone brush to brush them into place. So this is the rhinestone brush, and you just take and brush the kind of like in a circular motion, and the rhinestones will normally just fall into place. Now sometimes they don't, and you kind of have to, you know, maneuver it the best way you can. You also want to make sure that none of the rhinestones are doubled up, because they will do that very easily. But you can see how they're fitting in very nicely. That's to let you know that changing the size of the template was the right thing to do. Had I not changed the template, the rhinestones would be too big for my holes. So you do want to make sure that you adjust, if you do this project, that you do adjust and you're using Cricut Design Space, that you do adjust the size to what matches the Etsy description. So I'm using one hand to kind of hold this down, because otherwise it would be moving as I'm moving, and I don't want that. And I'm just taking the extra rhinestones and just putting them back into the mix. So you just want to make sure they're all going in the same direction, laying on the back side, because the back side is the sticky side. And you can look at them and you can tell when they're not going in the right direction, because they will look awkward. Okay, so I'm going to keep moving here. I'm going to do this outline with you, and then I'm going to do the others offline, and I'll come back when I get ready to heat press, and we'll do the pressing together of all of the layers. Okay, so you can see how every time I get one, like I have some that are missing right here, I just use my finger. You can also use this kit that I bought, it comes with tweezers. You can use your tweezers. You can also use your Cricut weeding tool, you know, just to kind of gauge those or guide those rhinestones into place. And I'm gonna grab one from up there and move it over to get it right there. All right, so you can kind of get the feel for how this is done. And I should have enough rhinestones. I don't remember how many came in each one of these little packages, but hopefully I'll have enough to do my historically, because I don't want to have to change up to another color. And you want to be gentle with it. I know you can't tell if I'm pressing hard or not, but I'm moving the rhinestone brush. When I brush it over, I'm going kind of lightly, light pressure, not pressing down hard. And yeah, you just keep going until you get all of your rhinestones in place. And always do a double look. And the reason I say that is because sometimes you'll think you have one in each spot and you'll see that you're missing one. Sometimes you will have them doubled up and not catch it, and you don't want it to show up in your final project. Also, once this packet, it comes with the transfer tape. This transfer tape is not the same type of transfer tape that you use for your HTV vinyl, so please do not try to use that with your rhinestone projects because it is not the same. Okay, so I do want to kind of let you know that it is not the same transfer tape. So you can see we got all of this part here. We got all of the dope part over here, outline complete. And we're just going to finish up on this side. And then I'm going to do the historically. And like I said, hopefully I have enough of these crystal rhinestones to do the historically, because I want to keep it, this and the historically, in the same rhinestone color. So this design takes 2,000 rhinestones, guys. 2,000. And these packets that I got from the Rhinestone Warehouse or Rhinestone World, they don't say how many are in there. I'm sure it probably does on the website, but it would be nice if it was also on the packaging. Because, I mean, who wants to go look at the website to see how many are in there? Alright, so we got that part, and you do not pick this up, guys. Do not pick this up. I mean, I'm pretty sure you already know that, but I can't stress it enough. Do not pick this up until you put the transfer tape on. So this is where I'm now going to take a look and see if I have any doubled up, or if I missed any, like one was doubled and that one was missing. And I can tell right off the bat because the cardboard or cardstock I have under here is white. So if I see a white spot, automatically know that that is a missing stone. All right, so I got 2 missing stones right here. You can kind of see the white. And let's just make sure I don't have any doubled up that I can take from. And I don't. So I'm going to take 2 from here and bring those down and put those in. Now this comes with 12 by 8 transfer tape as well. And now I'm going to take that transfer tape to pick this up, or not to pick it up, but I'm going to lay it down to get all my rhinestones to transfer over to the transfer tape. Then I will be able to pick this up. So let me get my transfer tape. Give me 1 second. Okay. I might have to go to my, oh, I think I left my package in there. Give me 1 moment. All right, guys, so this is the sticky flock set. It comes with 12 by 8 sticky flock, and it comes with 12 of those, and then it comes with the transfer tape. So this is the transfer tape, and you can see that it's gonna fit almost on there with a little overage. So I'm gonna have to use another little piece for the bottom. That's the thing that I don't like about these being 12 by 8, but you can buy it in the roll. I did have some 12 by 12 sheets. You're gonna take and peel off the sticky side, and you want to kind of get this. Let me make sure these rhinestones are not in my way, because this will pick them up if it touches it. So you want to kind of lay it in the center and then go outward. And I kind of shift it a little bit, which is fine. But once you get it laid down, I just use my weeding tool for any that kind of moved a little bit. And I just push those rhinestones right back into place. And then I just take my finger and go over each one of the rhinestones. Now, you guys can see down at the bottom, I just knocked off 2 rhinestones right here because this sheet is not large enough. So I'm going to pop these 2 in its place because they probably fell on this carpet, and they're just going to get vacuumed up. Oops. Another one bites the dust. Alright. So I'm going to take a little piece of transfer tape to fill in this little bottom part right here. Right where I got the 2 little ends of the Y's, or the drip, not Y's, but the little drip. And I'm gonna see if I can cut this part off right here and use it. Might work. Might work. There we go. All right. So now this is all one piece. And you do want to go around the rhinestones to make sure that they're all laying in their respective little spots. And keep in mind, this is your border or the outline, so it needs to be perfect because everything else will work off of your outline. And I'm gonna have to play with this little part up here, but it looks good. All right, when you pick this up, guys, just take it and lay it on the back where this part is not exposed. So normally what I like to do is not pick this up until I'm actually at the heat press and ready to use it, because you can easily let it hit up against something, and you know, you don't want to do that. You don't want to risk that. So I normally say leave this on until you're ready to go to the heat press. You do what you want, but at this point it is safe to pick it up. I'm just not going to pick mine up until I get ready to go to the heat press. So that's the dope with the drip. That's what the overall design will look like. And now we're going to start with the historically. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these rhinestones and I'm going to put them in this little rhinestone tray. This is a little rhinestone tray that's used to catch your leftovers for you. And I'm going to put them in there just like that. You want to go nice and slow because these things, baby, they get everywhere just like those little blue dots. And if you're working on a carpeted surface like me, you can forget it if you drop them. Unless you just got time to be looking through some carpet. And I don't. Alright, so now we're going to do the historically. And I got my fingers crossed that I have enough to get through historically. And let me put this back down so I can catch any excess up there. But when you're doing this, guys, you want to allow yourself a lot of working space. You're going to need a lot of working space for this. And you guys can see I don't have a lot of working space. So if you do, take advantage of it. Alright, so we're going to get historically done. And then I'm going to do the others offline. And once I get those done, I'll come back and we'll be at the heat press ready to press these on. We're going to start out with the outline first. You're going to do the outline. After you do the outline, then you're going to fill it in. Or let me say, that is my plan. Now, this is the first time I've done one that was this many layers. I think I might have done 2 layers is the max that I've probably done. So this was a stretch for me, but I've been looking at this template for a minute and finally decided to just go for it. But I think it's going to be so pretty. And like I said, guys, the good thing about this is once you cut the template, you're done as far as not having to cut this template again. So I won't have to go back through this process right here of cutting the template. All I have to do is just put my rhinestones in and press it on. Okay, that's all I would have to do if I wanted to use this template again, which I'm more than sure I will, and that's why I didn't mind the price on it. Because normally if something costs more than $5, I'm out. I'm out. I tap out. But I wanted this template. But if you get somebody, you know, you wear this shirt, somebody likes it, they want to buy it, I would price accordingly, because this job is time consuming. This is not something that you can just, you know, cut the design out and then iron it on. Especially if they want the ombre, like what I'm doing, it would be expensive. So all I'm doing right now is just, again, filling in those little white spaces where I don't have a rhinestone. I'm just filling those in. Always double check your work to make sure you don't have anything doubled up. If you have any doubled up rhinestones, you want to go ahead and separate those. Like I said, it's better for you to catch it now than it's ironed on. Because as long as that glue side is down, it's going to press regardless to whether it was in the right place or not. It's going to be ironed onto your shirt. Okay. I'm trying to make sure I told you guys everything, since I'm not going to do the remaining layers on camera. I did tell you not to pick this up until you put the transfer tape down. The transfer tape is not the same type of transfer tape that you would use for your HTV. So please don't try that. I will have the bundle set that I bought. It will be in the description, linked in the description of this tutorial. And if you don't have 12 by 12, don't fret, because you can do just what I did, which was take and just cut off another piece and add it to the bottom where you didn't have enough room. It worked out perfectly, as you can see, because I cut half 2 inches off of another piece and just added it so that I could do this design, because I don't have any 12 by 12 sticky flock or magic flock, which I've used both. I think the magic flock is a little bit thicker than sticky flock. Sticky flock says it'll cut at, I think, 265 pressure on the Cricut, but since I already have a setting that I like to work with and I know works for me, I just leave it on my 350 and let it cut twice, because there's nothing like having some holes cut through and some holes that didn't. With my 350, I don't have to question it. It cuts straight through. All right, so I'm going to put these last 2 little, not 2, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 little stones in. And I'm going to do one more showing you how to do the transfer tape, because this is going to require me to cut the transfer tape down to size. You don't want to put a whole, 12 by 8 size of transfer tape on here. It's not necessary. So I think this is less than 3 inches long. Yeah, in height. Alrighty. So guys, it's really pretty when it's coming together. And once it gets on the shirt, you're going to see it's even prettier. I can't wait to see how they look on the shirt, because this is my first time using diamond cut rhinestones, which they say are very pretty. They say they're very, very pretty. So I can't wait to see how it's going to look with all these different colors. All right, let's see where I just dropped that stone. All right, have to look real closely, because I know I dropped a stone on here. And I know it didn't fall into place, because I still have 2 things to go. All right, so this is the historically. There it is. It was sitting on top of one of the other stones. I knew I dropped it on there. All right, so that's the historically. So again, you always want to move your excess stones out of the way, because when you bring that transfer tape on over, if it hits that, if it hits those stones, it's gonna pick them up. Okay, and we don't want that. So we're now gonna go in and get another piece of transfer tape. And we're just going to cut this down to size. Okay, so about here. And we're just going to take off separate them from one another. Okay, try to start in the center and let it go. Just like that. And use your fingers. You can even use your brayer tool, your Cricut tool, to kind of help make sure that they are all laying in that groove. Okay, so now we have the historically. Okay, so this is going to go at the top This is going to be at the top of our dope. Okay, so I'm going to do the other layers, and then when I get ready to iron or press these on, then I'll bring you back in. All right. All right, guys, here we are at the heat press. I have my blue shirt down. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull the transfer tape up from the template. You want to be careful because you don't want it to roll back and touch something and knock off your designs. And that's good about right there. I'll bring it down just a touch to about right there. All right, so we're going to be pressing this at 325, which is 162 Celsius, for about 15 seconds. And then we're going to go in with our historically. We're going to put that at the top. And I came down about 3 fingers from that neckline. So I'm going to give this a chance to heat up, and we're going to get the dope done first. The dope outline, y'all. Dope outline. The dope outline done first, and then we'll do the remaining layers. Okay? All right, be right back. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and press the first layer, and here goes. And next up, we're going to do our historically. Ready? Looks like I got 2 right there that turned. And I don't know when or how they turned, but they turned. So I'm just going to knock them off. And try to flip them back over here in just a second. So I always keep my weeding tool handy to help in situations like this. So I'm going to see if I can use the same ones. If I can't, then I'll have to get 3 more rhinestones. One second. And we'll get this taken care of. And we'll see what happens. And you can tell which side is the back side, guys. It's the dull side. And then you have your shiny. You always got one that want to be hard-headed and don't want to get into place. Just take your time. There we go. All right, so now we're going to take our historically and place that in position. So I keep a visual of what it's supposed to look like so that I don't mess up. So our H is going to slide right in between this D here. Just like that. All right. So I'm going to take a piece of parchment paper. Give me 1 second. And I'm just going to cover the part of the rhinestones that I've already done. Like that. And we're going to felt it sliding. Come on, parchment paper. All right. Then we're going to do the top portion of the dope. Now, I've never tried to reuse this transfer tape. I'm going to see if I can. So I'm putting it back where it goes. All right. Right there on that end. I might need to change the pressure on my heat press. Maybe my pressure is not right, because I've never had a problem with like some stones going on and some stones not. So I'm just going to place that there, and I'll catch the heating of it on the next go round. All right, so now we're going to do the top portion of the dope. Which is going to be here. So it's going to slide right in, just like that. Okay, I'm going to use my parchment paper again. And we're going to go ahead and press. So you can see it's not a very short process, but it turns out beautifully. All right. We're going to now take up this part here. All right, we got one that didn't have any stones to come off. Now we're going to do the middle or the end part of the dope, which is going to go right here. And that's why I highly recommend that you don't lift these up until you're ready to put them on your shirt. This one is a little bit more difficult, so hopefully I got that in there right. But now we got the dope in there. I keep saying the dope in there, like that doesn't even sound right. The bottom portion of dope, we're going to press again. And then we have one more layer. So this was 4 layers all total. We had the outline and the crystal. And then we had the fiery opal. It's going to be, I think, at the bottom. Alright, so that is our DOPE spelled out. See, those acted nicely. This transfer tape still feels sticky, so I think I can reuse it. We're now going to do our drip at the bottom of the dope. Hopefully it sits in there nice and pretty, just like that. And I'm going to hit it again with the parchment paper. So you're going to have to hit it, you're going to have to press it 4 times. So I'm using a combination of the rhinestone whirl, rhinestones, and then beadling. Oh, that is so pretty. A lot of work, but it was so worth it. So let's hope we don't have any rhinestones to move. And if we do, we know how to fix it. Look how pretty that turned out, guys. And like I said, this transfer tape still feels sticky. I've never tried to reuse it, but I'm going to try this time. And I'm just going to press this one more time for the whole thing all together, just to make sure that we don't end up with any stones moving around. And we're done. Turn that off. Alright guys, there we are. Historically dope. And I think it turned out beautiful. So chime in the comments and let me know what you guys think. Let me see if I can turn it around here. Fix my camera up. Here we go. Historically dope. So chime in the comments. Tell me what you think. I'll put the colors also in the description as well. I think that turned out so pretty. 4 different colors. My first time doing 4 different colors. I think, like I said, I don't know. I think the max I've done is maybe 2 or 3, but no more than that. And this is a cotton shirt. It doesn't matter if it's cotton or polyester. But this is a 100% cotton t-shirt from Walmart. But I will post the links to all the different supplies in the description. And that is it. That is my shirt that I wanted to make myself for quite some time, and I finally decided to do it. All right. So if you're currently in my Facebook group, guys, thank you guys so much for following me via Facebook. If you would like to join my Facebook group is Candoris's Cricket and Creative Crafters. It will also be linked in the description as well. All you have to do is agree to the Facebook group rules after you click on that link, and we'll get you in. And then if you are currently subscribed to my YouTube channel, I want to thank you guys so much for the love and support that you show via YouTube. If you are seeing me for the first time, you like my method of teaching, then please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And that's it, guys. That is it. I have over 400, about 425 video tutorials on all different types of crafting projects on my channel. So yeah, check me out if this is the first time you're seeing me. And I'm historically dope. So just in case you wanted to know. All right, guys, you know my motto is each one reach one so that each one can teach one. And you guys have an amazing day. Bye.